Are you still believing that you have to charge less because you're a new personal chef? Your experience level might not actually be the thing keeping your price low when you're starting out. There's a big difference between strategic beginner pricing and choosing the lowest price just because you're afraid people are going to say no. In this video, I want to help you figure out which one is actually driving your price, what undercharging can cost you, and how to become more confident in your price based on the realities of your service instead of how uncomfortable you might be saying the number. Hey there, I'm Chef Shelly. I built my own personal chef business around weekly meal prep services. And on this channel, I teach passionate cooks like you how to start your own fully booked personal chef business. It is the best way to get paid to do what you love on your own terms with steady clients, schedule, and money. So if you want to learn how to do weekly meal prep services, you can get my free guide. There's a download link under this video. One of the biggest misconceptions I see around pricing is that being new automatically means you should be cheap. There may be very good reasons to price strategically when you're getting started. You may still be refining your service, learning how long everything takes. You may not have any culinary background, or you may be figuring out your expenses, right? That's strategic beginner pricing. But pricing low because you're worried nobody will hire you otherwise is something different. And that's what I want you to pay attention to. The first thing you need to do is identify what's actually driving your price. Look at the number you're currently charging or whatever you're thinking about charging and ask yourself where that number actually came from. Did you just pick a number that felt safe to ask somebody to pay? Because sometimes what looks like a pricing decision is actually a little bit of fear showing up in your number. Maybe you're afraid someone's going to tell you that you're too expensive. Maybe you're worried about losing an inquiry. Maybe you're comparing yourself to personal chefs who've been in business much longer than you have, or you feel like you somehow need to earn the right to charge more. One of the common mistakes I see newer personal chefs make is starting with the question, what do I think somebody would be willing to pay for this? Then they build their price around that number. The problem there is a price that you think someone will easily say yes to isn't necessarily the price that you need to run a sustainable personal chef business. Remember, personal chef services are a premium convenience service. Your client isn't just paying for food. They can get rotisserie chickens at Costco if that's all they care about. They are paying for a professional cook to plan, shop, prepare, cook, prep, clean up, organize, label, customize, all the things, and the convenience of having their meals handled completely for them. So you really need to separate two questions. What does this service need to cost for you to be able to run this as a business? And what are you comfortable asking someone to pay? Because those are two very different questions, and they might have very different numbers. If you're struggling to separate your feelings about pricing from the actual numbers, this is where my personal chef pricing worksheet can help you. It gives you a practical starting point for evaluating your price instead of just picking a number primarily because it feels okay. You can download the worksheet free right below this video. Now, the second thing I want you to understand is what undercharging is actually costing you, because this is where people can accidentally create a problem that they don't see until they're already serving clients. When you're focused on getting clients, charging less can seem like a safe, smart decision. You think, if I lower the price, it'll be easier for someone to say yes. But getting someone to say yes is not the only job your pricing has to do. Your pricing also has to allow you to sustainably provide the service after the client hires you. Think about everything that happens behind one weekly meal prep service for the client. There's menu planning, client communication, grocery planning, label making, grocery shopping, travel, cooking, prep, cleanup, packaging, invoicing, all of the administrative work required to keep that client running. Then you have your business expenses. And at the end of all that, your business needs to make a profit to be able to pay you. When your price is too low, something is eventually going to get squeezed. Maybe you start rushing because you're needing to squeeze another client in the afternoon. Maybe expenses are taking a bigger portion than you thought and you're making less than you had planned for. Or worse, maybe you fill your schedule with clients and discover, even though you're busy, the business isn't generating enough revenue for you, not enough income, not enough money. I've seen chefs get excited because they booked a client only to realize after doing the service for a few times that they dramatically underestimated how much time was involved. Now they have a different problem. They either keep providing that service that doesn't make financial sense for them, or they have to go back to the client and raise their price and have that uncomfortable conversation. That's why undercharging isn't necessarily the safer choice. Sometimes it simply delays your pricing problem until later. The third thing I want you to focus on is building confidence from evidence instead of feelings. And this is an important shift because if you're waiting until you feel experienced enough or confident enough to raise your prices, you may be waiting for something that really doesn't happen the way you expect it to, when you expect it to, ever. Instead, look at the realities of the service. How much time does it take you? What are your expenses? How many clients can you realistically serve each week? What does the business need to generate for you? Where are you located? What is your experience? What is your confidence level? Those answers give you something much more useful to base your pricing on than asking yourself, does this number feel too high? Because feeling uncomfortable stating your price does not mean your price is wrong. That was a really important shift for me around pricing when I started. Confidence doesn't have to come first. I can look at the numbers, understand everything that went into providing the service, knowing what the national average price is. It's about $335 right now at the time of filming this video for a personal chef cook day, plus groceries. That gave me something concrete to stand behind. And with honestly just experience and conversations, saying your number will get easier. But if you keep lowering your price until you feel comfortable saying it, you end up creating a business model that is simply not going to work for you, especially long term. So if you are a new personal chef and you're questioning your pricing, don't automatically assume that being new means you have to charge less. Instead, look at really what's behind the number you're charging. Is it a strategic business decision based on the reality of your service, your geography, your experience, or is fear making the decision for you? Being new and undercharging are not the same thing. You can be thoughtful about where you are in your business while still making sound business decisions and pricing decisions based on what your service requires. And when you find yourself feeling uncomfortable about your price, go back to the evidence. Clarity about all this is what actually is going to create your confidence. Understand your numbers, your price, what it actually costs to deliver the service that you're doing. And if you want some help working through those numbers, again, download my Personal Chef Services pricing worksheet, link below this video. And after that, watch my video on how to set your personal chef prices, because that's the natural next step once you understand why fear shouldn't be setting it for you, because the clients are out there and they're hungry for what you're cooking.